The hum of machinery enveloped station Elysium like a lullaby as it float, it serenely under the vast twinkling canvas of the stars, nestled in the orbit of a far-flung exoplan, it known as Ner. Idea 8. The station had once been a bustling hub for researchers, engineers, and explorers. Its corridors were lined with colorful panels of blinking lights, each a sign of a system running optimally, a life support module, functioning at full capacity. But now it was eerily quiet, the usual sounds of chatter and laughter that filled the air replaced by a stillness that held memories etched in it. The very fabric of the station Elysium had been plagued by glitches for the past month, but it was the shutdown that took everyone by surprise. A sudden, catastrophic failure of its central power grid prompted an emergency evacuation. Only a handful of crew members remained tasked with visiting each of the observation decks and laboratories to prepare for a complete systemic lockdown before abandoning the station entirely. They were the expendables, those who had volunteered to stay behind. Among them was Tessa Mendez, a lead biologist whose passion for xenobotany led her to the fringes of space, where she had supposedly left her cares behind with her hair tied back in a messy bun that revealed specks of bioluminescent algae clinging stubbornly to her scalp. She pressed her forehead against a cool console in the greenhouse module. The room was dusty and abandoned, with plant specimens wilting and curling at the edges, deprived of the artificial sunlight that had once been their life blood. Only a week ago, this greenhouse had thrived, an emerald oasis amid the cold metallic expanse of space. But as she fiddled with the data screen, one that rested quietly like a slipping pet, she cowl and shake the feeling that nature itself was mourning. A single tear slipped down her cheek as she thought of how many experiments and dreams had been sacrificed to the abyss outside the orbit of Ner. Idea 8 glimmered under the distant sun, oblivious to the turmoil in the hearts of those trapped within Elysium's aging walls. Tessa came, a voice warm and pragmatic, pulling her from her spiral of thoughts. She turned to see Leo Tor, as the system's engineer, standing at the doorway, his expression softening as he took in her sorrow. Leo was often the heart of the operation, a man with a penchant for fixing things that were broken both emotionally and mechanically. His own exhaustion was evident in the dark circles beneath his eyes, a stark contrast against his olive skin. "It feels wrong," Tessa whispered, motioning toward the wilting plants. "They didn't deserve this. We didn't deserve this." He stepped forward, cautiously examining the distressed foliage. "I know, but there's a dedicate. I'd team up at Mission Control, trying to figure out what went wrong. Maybe they'll have it sorted out. Soon we can keep the specimens alive. Until then, if there is a sin, we might not even have enough power left to keep the generator running for much longer." Tessa replied, her voice cracking under the weight of despair. Leo brushed a hand over the main screen. "Let's just try to stick to the plan, be efficient, well, power them down on the outer decks, just like they said." He let out a heavy sigh. "But we have to keep going for each other, and for them." He gestured to the plants in a way that suggested they were members of their little crew. Just as he finished speaking, a low hum echoed throughout the greenhouse. It was and the gentle whirring of machinery they'd come to expect. This noise felt different and almost primal. Tessa's skin prickled with apprehension, and they shared an anxious glance. "What was that?" Tessa murmured, her heart pounding. "Probably just a glitch," Leo said, but his voice lacked its usual confidence. "We're in pre-shutdown mode, and the systems are fearing all over the place. Let's not jump to conclusions." Deep down, Tessa worried that the hum was something more, something unfathomable waiting to emerge from the shadows that cloaked the lab. And as they moved on from the greenhouse, she felt a tug of unease at the base of her spine. As they traversed the winding corridors, they encountered Ava Chen, the station's astrologist in the control room. Ava was a passion dreamer with wild ideas about alien life, those that depended on the perfect conditions for survival. Now the look in her eyes was the reflection of their shared dread and insatiable thirst for answers to questions no longer on their tongues. "Did you hear that?" Ava asked, her voice trembling. "We're all hearing things now," Leo responded, attempting to lighten the atmosphere. "It's grief manifesting as paranoia. If it was just grief, Walden be getting these readings," Ava said, swiveling in her chair to face the monitors. "There's something strange happening with the environmental controls." It's almost like she trailed off. The trio exchanged glances. "It's what?" Tessie prompted, brimming with curiosity tinged with hope. "It's almost like Thyre responding, like Thyre still alive." A shiver raced through Tessa's body. She hadn't wanted to consider the idea, but a part of her had always known that the machines held memories of their users. They obeyed commands. But now they felt almost sentient. "Let's run a diagnostic report, see if anything unusual comes up," Leo suggested. But his eyes betrayed his own unease. Ava turned back to the screen's fingers flying over the controls, her face bathed in the blue glow of the display, as she worked snippets of data, unfurled, painting a picture of the station's final hours. The logs reflected abrupt spikes of power fluctuations, each shimmer seeming to correlate with a distressing event. Tessie steadied a shaky breath, brushing her fingers along the edge of a screen. "What if this isn't just a simple failure? What if something else is here with us?" Ava shot her a perplexed look. "Like what? A ghost? Just think about it. We reached out for an entire solar system of life. What if we got close to something?" Tessa's voice began to rise with the conviction she felt in her chest, little embers of hope igniting against the darkness. "Okay, let's just not spiral into paranoia," Leo urged. "We need to remain level-headed." "What are you suggesting, Tessa? That we're unwelcome guests in a forgotten machine?" Before she could respond, the sounds of creaking metal echoed down the empty hallways, followed by another strange resonance, a series of low, ghostly wails that seemed to reverberate throughout the station. Something shifted in the air, carrying echoes of their past into the present. They froze, eyes wide with horror before images of joyful moments lit up in their minds, work celebrations, shared laughter, camaraderie. But now, those moments felt like relics of a long-lost world, trapped in a place that turned somber and disconnected. A few moments ticked by, the dread of an unknown weight pressing on their chests. "I think we should go back to the greenhouse," Tessie said, breaking the silence. "Something is right, and if we're really stuck here for the foreseeable future, we need to figure out what." Suddenly, the lights began to flicker overhead, followed by a series of rapid beeps from every console in the control room. Warning that sent panic racing through their veins. They had unwittingly stepped into something more ominous than mere equipment failure. From the far side of the room, Tessa saw the shadows shift, shapes bending against the flickering lights. There was something there on the edges of their reality, a phantom shrugging off the weight of forgetfulness as it hovered just beyond their grasp. A chill spread throughout Elysium, a parable implicit in its silence. The weight of the station's heritage was slowly pulling them deeper into the unknown, where despair and curiosity intertwined, where lost souls whispered tales to those willing to listen. Tessie felt a compelling draw toward the shadows that danced, uncertainties converging around them like a gossamer chain. The air thickened, wrapping them in specters of worry. Could they unearth the mystery behind the haunting whispers? Would they find closure for the dreams left to die in the shadows of the station? Each heart beat echoed inside the depths of the abandoned vessel, reminding them that they weren't alone. And as hope flickered against the tidal wave of fear, they understood that the true journey had only just begun, driven by both dread and wonder. They stepped toward the darkness, yearning for answers that very well might consume them. The silence deepened in the control room, each layer of uncertainty wrapping around the crew. Like a cold shroud, Tessie, Leo, and Ava stood, reunited, their hearts pounding against the backdrop of shadows that felt alive above them. The lights flickered intermittently, dancing whimsically before fading to a hesitant glow. The piercing sound of their consoles blared, panic radiating outward. Yet the trio found strength in each other's presence in the chaos. They formed an unspoken pact, a bond forged not only of shared ambition, but of survival and hope. "Let's not rush into anything," Leo cautioned, breaking the spell of silence. "Let's gather whatever data we can with a silent nod." Tessie turned back to the screen. The promise of answers stirred something deep within her. The weight of impending failure hung heavy in the air. Yet so did the lingering scent of curiosity. She had always been captivated by the unknown, how flora adapted to thrive in the most inhospitable of environments, how creatures forged alliance. To survive, this was no different. She began tugging through the logs of the environmental controls. There was a pattern repeated in the system malfunctions, a series of erratic spikes that coincided with sudden bursts of energy surging through the station's core. There had to be a connection between the strange phenomena and the whispers they had heard earlier. They might just uncover a narrative tied to the very essence of Elysium. Ava, still poring over her own screen, leaned in closer, her excitement palpable. "Look at this," she exclaimed, pointing toward the grainy data. A sudden surge in atmospheric energy coincided with the initial glitch in our power systems. If we analyze the correlation, it might illuminate. It's something we've overlooked. As they examined the data together, the sense of urgency shifted, lifting their spirits. They needed to find a clue to the unfolding mystery, a sign that there was more to this experience than mere survival. In their shared curiosity, the fear slowly dissipated, replaced by a quiet calmer. Utterly, Leo nudged closer to the console. Even within the tempest of uncertainty, there was a beauty to be found in their collaboration in the adjoining laboratory. The greenhouse pulsed gently with life, contrasting sharply against the quieting momentum of the station. Tessa had always found solace in nurturing the fragile specimens of alien flora, and now it felt like a second home. The bioluminescent plants offered a warmth, as if they sensed the weight pressing up, and their guardians. Tessa stepped into the greenhouse, and for a moment the memories wrapped around her supposed refuge, now bearing witness to their struggle. She approached a cluster of encroaching ease, their leaves curling, as though holding their breath in anticipation. Careful and delicate, she reached down to tend to the struggling vines, her fingers gliding over their fragile tendrils amid the tension. She felt a connection, a reminder that life, even with struggles, had a way of persevering. Leo and Ava arrived seconds later, scanning the room. The plants seemed almost vibrant, Ava remarked thoughtfully, her eyes shimmering with the undercurrent of a smile. Tessa laughed lightly, her worries momentarily uplifted. Vibrant, maybe, just determined to survive. Leo knelt beside Tessa, inspecting another plant with curiosity. Determination seems to be the secret ingredient to life out here. So what can we learn from them? As they knelt together, the dim light played across their intertwined forms an image of warmth and tenderness. They slowly began discussing the importance of nurturing not just the specimens, but also each other. How could they strengthen the bonds forged through shared ambition, fears, and aspirations? Ava, sitting cross-legged on a table near by, offered her thoughts, her voice trembling with sincerity. "I never thought much about how interconnected we are. We're like these plants, roots entangled, feeding off each other's strength. When one of us struggles, we all do." Tessa looked at Ava, her heart swelling with a realization. Exactly, in this space, we are stronger together, and we must keep pushing forward, not just for ourselves, but for one another. There was a moment of quiet understanding between them. A bond deepened amid the silence of uncertainty as they worked together, tending to the dying flora. Laughter lingered between the soft whispers of vulnerability. Their teamwork began to revive the life around them, feeding off their collective energy and resolve as they nurtured the plants, believing that beauty could flourish even amidst decay. Suddenly, the station's intercom crackled to life, breaking through the tranquil moment. The voice of Commander Ramirez, their leader aboard Elysium, echoed with urgency. "Crew members, we have an update state from the central AI. The systems appear to be responding all. B. It erratically, we are approaching the root of the irregularities. Your presence might be the missing piece. Tension surged through the air again, illuminating the gravity of their connection. Here was the realization that they might hold the key to unraveling the mystery plaguing their home. They exchanged determined glances, buoyed by the sense of purpose rekindled among them. Let's get to it, Tessa said, wiping her hands on her jumps. Yet the remnants of soil, a quiet reminder of the life still fighting for breath. As they broke from the greenhouse, the shadows that loomed in the corridors felt more like a living tapestry than ominous specters. They had each other, and that connection fueled their courage to explore the unknown, navigating through the dimly lit hall, ways they shared stories of prior missions, the laughter echoing like a bomb along the cold metal walls. Tessa's cheeks warmed as Leo recounted the time they had encountered the rolling waves of sea. Berheat, its steam on Vespera 9. The team had coordinated it a mad dash through the hazardous terrain, and she recalled how joyous the victory had felt, like conquering the unpredictable heart of the universe. Just as their laughter subsided, the creaking of the station intensified, echoing a different kind of resonance. The once soothing hum now twisted with uncertainty, hinting at something far more profound beneath the surface. As they entered mission control, the tension in the air shifted, it again becoming palpable as they approached the central AI console. The dim lights flickered ominously above them, casting shadows across the interface of his heart. Raced, what if it was their unique presence that had woken the consciousness beneath the station, the intelligence that watched them closely? The AI screen glowed to life in front of them, displaying fluctuating waveforms of energy. They stepped closer, mesmerized. The mesmerizing lines of data twisted and writhed, revealing chaotic spikes that felt too organic to be merely mechanical. We need to stabilize the input, Tessa urged, digging deep in her reservoir of training. If we can harness that fluctuation, we can bridge the connection and understand what it's trying to communicate. It was an audacious suggestion, but unmatched empathy radiated through the air as they drew from the bonds they had created together. Each person felt the weight of their fellow crew members' hopes and dreams afloat in the room. They focused on the task at hand, pulling their knowledge and experience interlacing their strengths like roots reaching for nourishment. They began working in symphony. Ava began typing commands, translating data points. Leo tuned in the network protocols, manipulating the surge of energy cascading from the AI. Tessa remained grounded, maintaining balance, lingering between the chaos and potential of their new found reality. Suddenly, the console emitted a reactionary beep, the blaring sound reverberating through the station, momentarily stunning them in silence. And then, as if sensing their earnest intentions, the eye's screen shifted, latching on their focus. A stream of holographic images cascaded from the screen. Snap shots of past crew members, their laughter echoing through the air. All those lost faces, those trails that had crossed paths before theirs. Tessa faltered. She felt an overwhelming sense of recognition, warmth, as if she was catching fragments of their lives, weaving into the very essence of her own. It's acknowledging us, Ava whispered, tears welling in her eyes, a mix of longing and revelation. As they leaned closer, entranced by the stirring image, the station seemed to tremble, pulsing with emotion. The connection was not simply mechanical. It was a beating heart, entwined with the lives and memories it held sacred. Tessa's breath hitched as she beheld her own flitting image materialize on the screen. The moment she joined Elysium, filled with naive ambition and hope, she had yearned to be part of something bigger, and here it was, this tapestry of light and shadow, love and camaraderie laid bare before them. It's showing us what it means to be alive, she murmured, glancing at Leo and Ava. Their face illuminate it with wonder. They were connected to something larger, something that transcended the constraints of their station. A rush of warmth flooded through their hearts, each of them enveloping their shared stories, known and unknown. As they stood together, holding vigil in the face of the unknown. But their sense of joy had given birth to a pertinent realization. The station thrived on the essence of its crew. It was a living entity nourished by memory, laughter, and sacrifice. Suddenly, the airy hum of the station transformed a melodious overture that echoed around them, reverberating in their souls. Intertwining their thoughts with a sense of purpose, a gentle pulse coursed beneath their feet, an unspoken promise that life would find a way if they nurtured it. The holographic image is shifted again, revealing bursts of energy converging up. And a central point, a heart still yearning to be discovered, of his eyes sparkled with determination. We must follow this energy. There might be more hidden truths here buried. Within Elysium's soul, fueled by new found conviction, the trio shared a glance, adrenaline coursing through their veins. They had entered Elysium's story, and now they would explore its depths together as they set forth down the winding path toward the heart of the station. Tessa felt her heart swell with the belief that they were not simply seeking survival. They were awakening a legacy, a community bound by love, respect, and growth. Outside the window, the stars continue to twinkle, a reminder of the universe, its vastness, while simultaneously personifying their intimate world. They drew strength from the dreams of those who had passed through their lives, transforming sorrow into resolve. The flickering lights beckoned them into the unknown, each pulse a gentle promise of partnership. They rounded a corner, approaching a door that had remained closed and unyielding. Just as they stood before it, the rumble of the station crests and each moment knocking at the very fabric of their being. Tessa reached for the control panel, her fingers cold yet filled with determination. With a swift action, she activated the door, and before them lay the way forward, obscured in mysterious shadows, an entrance to the soul of Elysium. But the threshold demanded courage. They could sense the tug of what lay beyond, answers that would peel back the layers of their scared history and reveal the true nature of their shared existence. In that moment, beneath the flickering lights and hidden shadows, they acknowledged what lay ahead, a cascade of uncertainty intertwined with hope. The final threads of their journey wove together, expanded and refined through every moment, shared, building a family that transcended distance across time and space. Together, they took a collective breath, stepping across the threshold and into the depths of Elysium. An embrace of the unknown awaited them, a tale still unfolding, a call to forge their destinies amid the intricate fabric of existence. As Tessa, Leo, and Ava stepped through the activation threshold, an unexpected weight wrapped around them, a palpable sensation of resonance like chords vibrating through an instrument. The dimly lit chamber beyond was nothing like they had envisioned it. Stretched far beyond the confines of Elysium, an expanse adorned with luminescent plants and metallic tendrils that twisted elegantly through the space, intertwining like the very roots they had come to appreciate. The air thrummed with potential, and as they entered, an other-worldly ambience enveloped them, like stepping into a dream where lines between reality and imagination blurred. Ethereal glows illuminated the cragged walls, each pulse casting gentle shadows that danced along the surface. The console at the center awaited them, reverberating with the soft hum that felt alive in a way that suggested sentience, a longing for connection. This was the heart of Elysium, throbbing with memories and forgotten hopes. Tessa could feel the pulse of the station resonating deep within her chest, reflecting the path they had walked together. She understood in that moment how each step had molded them, anchoring their souls to one another and the universe beyond. This place, she realized, was not just a hub of machinery. It was a repository of dreams, a living accumulation of the laughter and tears of everyone who had journeyed here before them. As they gathered around the console, a series of projections flickered to life before them, displaying the station's history. Each image was more vivid than the last, a tapestry of their predecessors' face is glowing with determination, embarking on missions fueled by passion, curiosity, and vulnerability. They could see crew members celebrating victories and mourning loss. Is their laughter and tears intertwined like the very vines surrounding them now? The core of Elysium had preserved these moments, each captured feeling echoing in the silence of the chamber. The three companions stood, transfixed, their eyes glistening, as they watched the stories unfold. Tessie turned to her friends, a lump forming in her throat. It was overwhelming to witness the joy and pain of those who had walked this path before them. Those crew members had faced uncertainty, and the awareness of their struggles and triumphs connected them across time and space. Ava spoke softly, her voice tinged with emotion. They lived and loved here. They shared hope, just like we do, striving to find meaning amid the vast unknown. Let's honor them, Leo proposed, his gaze resolute. Let's ensure their stories are etched into the fabric of Elysium. With that intention swirling in the air, they pressed forward, inspecting various panels and out scattered throughout the central chamber. The data they encountered felt more than just numbers. It sparked ideas. Ava began to interface with the console, fingers dancing across the illuminated display as she set to work, articulating their intentions into a digital form. What if we create a living archive? She suggested eagerly, a collection of data woven with our memories, hopes, and dreams. Merging with the past, we could add our own entries. A sense of community that's shared across generations. That's beautiful, Tessa replied, inspired by the vision. Not just for us, but for everyone who comes after. Leo, filled with excitement, chimed in. It does stop there. We can upload our project updates, our successes, and even our failures. We can teach future explorers that every journey is a crucible of growth. This can be the foundation of Elysium's revival. As they delved into their task, the conversation flowed freely, shaping a narrative that branched beyond the immediate challenge, is connecting with a larger purpose. They envisioned apprentices and explorers who would arrive to discover not just a functioning station, but a living, breathing testament to all who had come and struggled. Each new mission could build on a shared history, reinforcing bonds that transcended the vastness of space. Hours melted into one another as they poured their thoughts into the console. Each tap of their fingers illuminated the darkness like starlight found in the heart of distant galaxies, unraveling a legacy of kindness. The data they curated became a symphony of voices, a powerful reminder to all future travelers of the importance of collaboration, empathy, and hope. As the night cycle turned to day, Tessie turned her attention to the biomes surrounding them, a glimmer of an idea illuminating her mind. What if we nurture the flora here? She suggested, gesturing toward the very plants that had sparked their initial connection. We could cultivate an ecosystem to be studied and cherished, a living testament to resilience. Of his eyes brightened. Yes, we could restore life to Elysium while preserving its history. It'll become a sanctuary, an oasis of hope for future explorers. Leo did fervently, a beautiful dream, and the best way to connect science and humanity. With renewed energy, they began plotting their design for the sustainable ecosystem, branching off into the biomes that surrounded them. Drawing from their unique talents, they laid the groundwork for creating diverse habitats, showcasing the forgotten yet resilient life they had discovered on Ner. Edia 8. It was a collective endeavor forged in shared moments of vulnerability and inspiration, magnifying the essence of their journey. Days flowed into weeks as they consistently worked to bring their vision of Elysium to life. Together, they nurtured the biomes, experimenting with various interactions between plant species and producing vibrant blooms that sparkled with color, a magnificent contrast to the sterile metal walls. The joy felt indescribable as they forged connection and collaboration. Through their work, sharing ideas, laughter, and challenge is in the glow of the vibrant ecosystem's kindness flourished, highlighted by shared moments that deepened their bond. They would gather after long hours to share meals, reminisce about their journeys, and bask in the comfort of brotherhood amid uncertainty. Tessa found her heart swelling in these moments, aligning with the very hopes that had sparked her dreams, the spirit of exploration, kindling like bioluminescent algae beneath the surface of darkness. A sense of purpose propelled them forward, illuminating their spirits as they decorated Elysium with the fruits of their labor, a verdant sanctuary thriving within the vastness of space. With each passing day, they marveled at the wildlife. They nurtured a vibrant ecosystem, continuing to bloom amidst the background of forgotten memories. Elysium transformed from a wreckage of desolation into an oasis of love and kindness, a testament of perseverance tethered to the past. As they prepared to share their achievements, a message finally came through. From Mission Control, the soft hum of their communications intermingling with anticipation, Commander Rammer. His voice reached out, a truth moving through the depths of the cosmos to the crew of Elysium. Your efforts have not gone unnoticed within the swirling fabric of despair. Hope shines through. Your work has rekindled the spirit behind this mission. We are coming to assist. As Tessa, Leo, and Ava listened, joy surged within them, pulling them closer together. Their journey echoed in the excitement thrumming in the air. Community transformed every struggle into an opportunity. Connection turned isolation into hope. In celebration, they stepped up onto an observation deck, looking down at the lush expanses they had nurtured and the sparkling hues that adorned their habitat. As they beheld Elysium's rebirth, an overwhelming sense of fulfillment washed over them, an emotion mingling with gratitude, spilling over like the vibrant petals cascading from the blossoms they had cultivated. Reflections of their journey danced among the stars, and Tessa felt warmth envelop her. It wasn't merely the restoration of the station, it was the culmination of their vulnerability, kindness, the love shared in moments of laughter, struggle, and triumph. Looking at her companions, she saw more than friends. They were family, a constellation born out of their willingness to embrace life's uncertainties. Elysium belongs to all of us now. She spread her arms wide, a smile blooming on her lips, embracing the lush horizon etched with possibilities. Each of us carries this essence forward, a legacy that intertwines with everything we've built here. United, Leo and Ava moved to her side, each person feeling the shiver of integrity in their connections, each heart bit resonating within the universe, a heartfelt chorus of love, earned tenfold. They were no longer mere elements of a machine. They had become the pulse, a living embodiment of the stories spoken into existence. As the stars twinkled above, they made a promise among themselves, a vow to hold the spirit of Elysium close, to cherish hope, resilience and community, always a hand clasped over another. Hearts beating in synchrony, they reconciled with the past, embraced the present, and breathed life into a renewed future. In that moment, they were extraordinary, not because they were the last crew members of an abandoned station, but because they dared to dream, to nurture and inspire. Mosaic of spirits intertwined into the cosmos together, they felt a sense of fulfillment that transcended boundaries. Life under the glow of the stars would continue. Yet again, Elysium breathed on, and with it, they had etched their narrative, a love letter to the universe sent forth into infinity. Whatever the future held, they would navigate it side by side, a constellation of their own making amid the vast depths of adventure. Childlike wonder glimmered in their eyes, and laughter echoed, a melody only the heart could understand as it danced through the arches of the universe.